Oh. Hello, what's up? We are going to play a high budget puzzle game tonight. You can see that they spent $1 million just on this font. They completely scanned all of downtown Florence so that the assassins could realistically hide in the shadows. And everything. We'll give people another couple of minutes to show up, though. We could read the acknowledgments. Enigmash. Art and Sounds. Playtesters. Relatively terse acknowledgments. We're going to have the last Choco Cherry while we wait for people to show up. Those are intensely sugary. I hope I don't have diabetes now. I should enjoy chocolate before it gets super expensive. I don't believe any of that propaganda. It doesn't seem that hard to me to grow more chocolate if people really wanted to. I think that's just people trying to justify their charging you more money for chocolate, and or people like Hershey not putting very much chocolate in their chocolate. Did I hear the Valve news? Yeah, Thursday, I guess, was it, that they're going to announce their Half-Life game. And I hope it's good, but man, firstly, Valve's last several releases have all been bummers. So like they're kind of not the Valve of the olden days who were magical and everything they released was good. And also, the original Half-Life 2 announcement and demo was so impressive. Like everyone went nuts about it for weeks. It's hard to believe that anything they show now is going to be like that. But who knows? Maybe. Maybe it'll live up. Heard that climate change will make the Sahara move south and ruin all the good chocolate growing climates. That doesn't account for new places that may become good chocolate growing climates. Yeah, that's true. Here's the thing. However climate change plays out, I don't think it's going to play out as anyone predicts just because there's too many variables. Like I've said on Twitter, for example, there are projects where people actually know how to turn CO2 into fuel right now. They're just a little bit expensive. And does the economics work out as a business, right? If somebody figures that out, a lot of things change, right? How many things like that are there that people haven't heard of? Because, you know, I never heard of that until about a month ago or 2 months ago. So how many more things like that have I not heard of? Well, tens, hundreds, I don't know. If you sum across the probability of all of those things, some of them will be significant, right? And then, you know, things like desertification can be reversed. Like if we cared enough, we already would have desertified the Sahara. We just don't have a reason to do that. So you recorded a bunch of Handmade Seattle and you were wondering if maybe I want to record something off stream with you for a joke in the video? I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't have a sense of humor. All right. I think there are enough people here that we could start playing. See link below for credits. We did that. Okay, I'm a guy in green. The world is scrolling with me, kinda. It's actually a little bit disorienting. Okay, but you know the deal is I can't push multiple bricks. All right, so I already have to like do this. Oh, cute. Cute. Okay, so different universes have different rules. Oh, I see. Oh, I've already screwed up. Okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. I've already screwed up. Okay, how do I, oh God. How do I do this? Wait, what? What? Okay, so I guess pushing left. This is where Puzzle Script needs smoother animation so players can understand what the hell is going on. So I think pushing left would step me up on the boulder, but you can't push a boulder up. So because I can't push the boulder to my upper left diagonally up, I can't go. So I'm pushing left right now, I can't go. So like what's happening here is I'm stepping on top and pushing it sideways. Okay, so the problem is I need all of this to happen, but one square to the left of where it is. Right? Like I can't get out from there. Wait, what? Okay. I kind of push down to like drop the boulder but be in the same square as it. I still don't know how this actually helps me, but oh, I just do this. Okay. That's fine. Okay, this game's cool. I like it so far. That's not where I want to do with that. So that gets that stuck. Oh, I want to push it to the right there, probably. Oh no, I just want the boulder right there so I could. I get it. I get it. I just want it there and then come out there. Cute. Okay, this is a good game. Good game. See, dude, if this game was made with a budget, it would make a lot of money, like already. The line between indie, now of course that takes a lot of work and stuff, a lot more work than just to do this, but like, man, a lot of people would dig this game already. It's cool. All right. So what am I trying to do here? There's a boulder that I can't really get to. I guess I'm just trying to get up. So I basically need all three of these on top of each other. Or, yeah, something like that. So I need like that, and then that, and then I need that. But to get that one, I need this over here. All right, so, okay, cute. So now, see, this is a good design of this concept too. Like, it's small, there's not a lot of tedium, but it totally works. Okay. Look, it's like mirror aisles. How do I get both of these? Okay, I need to get across there, I think, which needs 2 rocks, and I don't know how to do that. Oh, they're attached. It's a thick rock. THICC. And then I'm going to have to push this into the other zone and rotate it because it probably becomes 2 separate things. Yeah. Oh. Interesting. Wait, what? I mean, I kind of do feel like I'm supposed to push stuff down to the left. But I kind of want to push the top block over. Not that one. How do I decide which games to play? Recommendations, cool trailers. Do I play any games where the creator asks me? I honestly ignore most games where the creator asks me just because people do that all the time and most of the games are really bad. So I just can't. It's not a reliable method. On rare occasions, if I enter into a longer relationship where I'm giving someone advice on their game, which I do sometimes, then of course I'll play it repeatedly over the course of development. So I can push these one at a time. Oh, okay, never mind. I was looking at the island and I was like, oh, I can't get it across, but of course I can by pushing it south. So we're fine. These rocks read to me as really dark. My brain didn't. Okay, but I need to make them into a thick rock like down here. Let's see if they magically attach. I think they will, maybe. Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to push this off to the left to fill that water so I can go. But I don't know how to do that. I guess I need to make a stairway. I need to attach the thick rock. I need to make an L-shaped rock or something. So now I think I'm fine, right? I just do this. Hope you followed that. Am I playing this on Stadia? Don't you wish? Is that actually public now? Is it fully released? I noticed there were reviews, but I don't know if those were press-only reviews. Do I know anything about Kind? I played a pre-release version of Kind a year and 8 months ago. So it was it's undergone a lot of development since I played it. This reminds you of the history of Braid. The game just needs to start optimized. Well, totally. That's one reason why I wanted to give those talks. I wanted to show people, look, these games that are very successful start as things that don't necessarily look very fancy. I wanted to help. Well, there were many reasons. One reason was look, when people judge your game, you have to realize that they don't see what you see, right? That was the main point. But then also it was well, look, to get from a game that doesn't look like something a lot of people would pay for to something that they would is like any game, well, not any game, but most games can go through that transformation. And It's straightforward, actually. It's not that hard. It's much harder to design a good game. Well, it's a different kind of hard, but then to make one that like looks nice that people will pay for. And the making it look nice is honestly a lot easier. Okay, what am I doing here? I need to go to the other side of this wall, which means I need to make island up here. I need 2 more. How do I get 2? I push out the middle one. Okay. Now we have red X's that we don't know what they mean. Will I die? Whoa! Okay, now we know what that means. Okay. Well, sound effects are making your dog bark. So, hold on. Is there anything else I can do? What do I need to do? I need to get at least one. I need both of those rocks, honestly. I don't really see a way to get this double guy out except by putting rocks here and here. That would do it. If I just put one here, I could push it this way, but I can't push it south. And it needs to go south because I need it to cross these. But, I mean, here's the thing. If I can get 2 rocks, I could just put them there. So it can't really be a 2 rock. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be trying to do. Can I go up on top? I can do that. All right, but that's not going to help me. Well, this doesn't seem very productive. But that's interesting that I can make empty space. Oh, wait. Okay, I see. Those rocks fell. So I don't need to, right, I don't need to change anything. They just fell. I forgot to observe that. Great. Okay. So now, I'm trying to get 3 across. And I can't. Okay, I need to get 3 like this, and then go here and push. Okay. This is a trick. It's a trick. Okay. There. Oh wait, maybe not. felt like it was a trick, though. Wait, are those walls? What are those? Okay, I need to do this differently. Wait, is that gonna... Yeah. Okay. How do I get 4? I've got to go down and move the thing and come back up. That doesn't seem feasible. Once I go down, I can't get back up. Okay, so if I push this one first, that's no good. Okay, right. If I push this one, that's recoverable. Bug. Okay, if I push it next to the guys. So, no, now let's see, that's the problem with that plan. So you need to push both of them down if there's 2 stacks. If you have a game that just needs a real artist, would it be better to network at conventions, forums, or look online for freelancers? Looking at the credits of Braid, it seems you already knew really good artists that could help me. Ha ha ha. You should go on YouTube and watch my presentation at Singapore Games Guild 2019, and you will learn all about the art for Braid. It wasn't 30 different artists, but it was at least 5. And the thing is, I'm not sure how applicable any of that is to today, because we live in a very different world now than when that game was made. So I'm not sure how much of it applies as like concrete advice. So I have this basic question. Am I trying to make a 4 stack here or here? And what are these dashed lines? Do those become something in another universe? Like, if this is water that I could put rocks in, I could either go 4 down here or 4 down here or 4 down here. I don't know. Okay. That's a no good. Okay, if I push one here, then this isn't lost. In the water. That's a start. Okay, I could do something like this. And then what happens if I... Yeah, see. seems like I could just drop them sequentially, but I can't. That's the point, is because they're all four abutting each other, you can't drop them all down into the same vertical spot. Because you can't push two in a row, so you have to drop one of them down in a different place. And so the problem is, if I do this, which seemed like the best thing, right? I could do this, do this, do this, right? And then go down here. I can actually push them together now, the shape that I want. But then how do I get back on top to like push it south by one more or two more, you know? That is my problem here. And once I've dropped down, I can't get really back up. So like, if I could just get back out and bump this guy down by one, that would be fine as well. But I don't have that ability. What happens? Nothing. So that just does that zone. So that dotted line to the south is just a zone demarcation. Work with art houses rather than freelancers? Possibly. It's just there are many perils to trying to work with an art house as an indie. It's not easy necessarily. There are many potential issues. Help, I can't get across. It's interesting that I can dislodge a rock like this, but I don't know what to do with that. Oh, it's a good point that a straight line is not the only... Okay, someone just kind of spoilered it for me. So I wish I didn't read chat. But that's what happens when you read it. It's what happens when you stream games. Although it's still not so easy to know how to make a shape. Like we could do this, this. Because the problem is you can't go... Okay. If I make this, if I make a square a little bit to the right, which I can't do. Everything's impossible. I could do that. That's not the actual shape that I want. I want this rotated and mirrored. And maybe I can... No. Okay, well let's... that, 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 and that. Okay, that's better. The problem with working with art studios as an indie, or one of the problems that I ran into on Braid, was they don't care about you. Like, they don't make that much money off a small indie game, and so you're a low priority, you know, which is a drag. What am I trying to do here? So there's a double dude lodged in this hole. And he's a double dude no matter what. Because this thing only changes this area. Okay, so what happens? I don't understand the point of changing this area like at all, because I guess it lets me break up the shape some more. Anyway, so I kind of want to make a shape that I could push to the north, which seems hard. I don't know what else I would do. It really pretty much has to be a shape that goes north. Or I just go to this island on the right. And oh, I got to use that. I've got to go right. And I've got to use that to control. See, this is where the graphics helping would be nicer. Like if my brain weren't so intimidated by the big pixel spam, I would have seen like, oh yeah, that's a continuous region. So I do this, right? That's the trick. Trick is I need to get out. I need 2 to get out, which I don't see how that's possible. That's not good. See, there's no way to make a tunnel into the bottom down there. I can avoid having to push my guys further south than this, but I don't see how that helps, right? Like, I don't see how to do it. I guess this is just to lock me into the scene and prevent me from going back. Okay, I could make a weird shaped thing with these 3 blocks. Right, and then go to, because if we're in Rock Island mode, so what shape would I make? Something, oh, something that's just 3 across. No, because that'll still, oh, right. If it's 3 across, it'll stay rocks. But I don't know. Right, so like, but then what does that mean? Not much. I can't like use that. Okay. If it was 2 horizontal and then 1 down, I could get that tunnel 1 closer to the ground, but that's not even close enough at all. Right, so basically, well, like if I do the following thing, that gets me closer to the ground, but I'm still 1 square from being able to get up there. They've anticipated my every move. Okay. What if it's a hook the other way, right? What if it's... Whoops, can't do that. Dude, this is so annoying. Okay. If we're in island mode, and I go rock, south, east. No, it doesn't help. All I can get is 1 south. The only way to get 2 south is not to connect. Someone's saying, did I learn a new rule just now? I don't think so. So this is not going to connect. But if it did, it would be low enough to get over. Except, well, yeah. Except it, of course, doesn't connect. So what do you want? All right. So what shapes can I make? I can make that. I could make... Well, you can cross with the top two, I know, but that doesn't help. Going here will not help me. Like, it would not be any significant difference from what I had done. All right, so like, because I will still fall. Right, like if I do this, it doesn't help me because as soon as I step on here, it's like, whoops. Like I need a hallway near the bottom, not near the top. Top doesn't help. I don't have better ideas than this one. So I could push this east or south. East connects but isn't low enough. South is low enough but doesn't connect. Rocks trigger. Oh yeah, we knew that. We knew that as our very first step. If that's what you meant, then yes, we know that. Oh, because rocks trigger, we can just push a rock over there. Right. So the challenge then is not getting one stuck on the bottom. Which is not that easy. Wait, I did it before. How did I do it? Oh, bro. Right, because that rock is an empty space. Ugh. So close. Oh, right. Okay, I just need to attach them all horizontally first. Okay. So here's the deal. We need to be like, whoops, we need to be like this in Rockland. And then I trigger from this side. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Whoa, it's a new place. I'm a Pac-Man ghost. What are the rules of Pac-Man Ghost Land? Whoa, oh, it's skipping stones. Kinda. Except I can also walk on the thing that the stone skips over. That's weird. I don't like this 2.5D puzzle script thing. It's gross. It's too hard to read. I wish people wouldn't do it. It doesn't look good and it doesn't play well. Sorry. Sorry, people. Don't do it. So these things are both seemingly floor to me. I don't know if the stone skips on these. But one of them is wall to the other guy and one of them is not. And that's fine. I don't like this right here. This is too unreadable and crammed in to be an introduction to that. It's the first not good thing in this game. Okay, so this is obviously for something. Yeah, the graphics are starting to break down. Like, what? What are you talking about, bro? Oh, I guess that's supposed to be the intro and I just didn't do it. Okay, wait, where did I even come from? I came from over there. Okay, so this is so that I can kick the stone around. All right. What happens when I hit this? Right. Can't move. I feel like I want to be this guy. So I want to get past this thing over here. If I was that other guy, I could do that. To do that, it's hard because I feel like I need two things. I need one stone here where I'm standing so I could go up, right? Oh, no, 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 I see. Okay. I kick this stone over to here. It goes into there and falls, see? Yeah. So now the question is, how do I do that? Whoops. Dang it, didn't mean to do that. That's okay. Go there, we go up. We go, we're one too far now. See, now I'm hosed because I'm too low. I want to do that, but I want to be on this next ledge somehow. Which I guess we just do this. All right. There we go. Yeah, this game is good. It's just the graphics are starting to get in the way, honestly. But it's good. What game was this part based on? I don't think it was based on any specific thing. Like, it reminds me of Skipping Stones, kind of, but it's different. So, that is what it is. I want to push this left one more. Or, I want to change the shape. No! That's the deal. I need to make it a vertical 2-prong. So I need to like chase these around the universe. Oops. I don't think that helps me at all, but so I kind of want to have it here and kick it left. Or have it here in the middle and kick it left, but that seems not really possible because of this thing. Hello, rating people. 100 people. 101 people. That's crazy. Hello, everybody, including Legendary Potato King. I mean, I'm not sure I ever heard that legend, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it that there was a legendary potato that you are king of. Oh, I see. I could do this. Okay, I could do this. I could do this. I can play puzzles. Oh, except I still kind of have it. Okay. Okay, people. Thanks. I'm glad you appreciate the games. How's this game? This game is really good, except the graphics make me cry. But that's every puzzle script game. But the actual game is really cool. I recommend, if you like tricky, interesting puzzle games that have a new idea and are really neat and aren't actually that hard, you could try this game out and just imagine a beautiful world that this takes place in. Also play all the games this one is based on. I don't think you need to do that. Like, this game is certainly enjoyable on its own. You don't need to know anything before playing it. What I need to know is, how do I solve this frickin' part, though? Like, what do they want from me? Literally and figuratively, what? Okay, so we can sort of, we can walk this way. We can go retrograde. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Why did I do that? Well, I'm not sure exactly. It does let me get to one new square, which is here, but that doesn't help unless I can do that with the other guy, which I don't know how to do. Like, the whole deal is the second guy is the hard part here. Oh, but I could also do this. Bro. And now I've sort of got them both, like, later in the track. Right? Bro. So now the problem is, I've got my 2-bagger, but it's going to be too high. See, okay, I'll show you. I can make this, but now I still can't get it where I need to because it'll fall in that hole. So I need to not quite do that. I need it down one more. The middle one is fine. This is fine. Somehow need this one. They want my soul, obviously. Obviously. I mean, doesn't this look like some kind of demonic summoning? So if I do this, the problem is, how do I get the second one out? So now this one is down here. This one, though, is stuck on the top line, and they won't connect, as in Microsoft Connect. But, okay, here's the thing. Once one is down here, I can kind of get it back and forth. This little square that I'm standing in is suspicious. let's go back a little bit before we get too lost here. Undo, 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 undo. So the way to get one in the middle line, yeah, so from here I could easily get this in the bottom line, right? To get to the middle line, I need to do that. So the problem is, as far as I could tell, I need to do both of these things. Or, well, if I can get them both out the bottom one at a time, that's good enough too. Like if I do this and then just push this away, if I could do that same thing again with the second one, well, not exactly that. That doesn't work either, but I could push it there. Then we would win. But the thing is, I don't know how to do that with this one. I mean, I just know how to get it out the top. Bro. Okay. We can play puzzles sometimes. You can't believe that worked? Do you think that that wasn't the intended solution? It sure looked like it to me. It was one step trickier than you thought. All right. Okay, where do we want this to be? I don't even know. Like what? Okay, I guess I want to make a hole in this wall. But I need more than one stone, right? Like if I push this. Oh wait, what? Okay, that's how that works. I guess. I don't understand. So walls always have to be surrounded by a margin tile, I guess. So if you take away the margin tile, there's no wall. That's a little weird. Whoops, that's not. That was right where it started, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So we kind of want it, we want to kick it. Oh, I see. If I stop it... If I stop it here, then I can go into island mode and push it right. All right. There. This game is dope. And then I can push it up and it'll trigger the thing pushing it back into island mode when it's in the middle. See, we could play puzzle games. And then we go here. And then we go there. And then we go there. I hope you followed all that. If you want to be in my Enigmash clan, you need to have followed that. Okay. Now what? We have 2 stones. Maybe, okay, so one stone has to get rid of the hump. And then the second one has to open. All right. Now that said, I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, so get rid of the hump. The problem is this frickin' thing cannot move at all, and I don't know what to do about that. What are we supposed to do about that? Like, I just can't get behind it at all. So maybe there's a way to remove 2 with 1 somehow. Oh, yeah, we do this kind of action. So do I want to push it? I guess I push it. I don't know. I don't know where to push it. We're breaking the law. We have one of these on a thinger. What happens when there's a thing on a thinger? Can I push it? No. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, no. Okay, well, we can't do that. We can't leave a thing on a thinger. Problem is, there's going to be a thing on a thinger no matter what. Okay, so maybe we want these vertical enough. Will this sink? No. Okay. But now it's a thing on a thinger. I mean, there's only 2 places to attach those stones. So it's got to be the other one. I just don't get what to do. All right. So okay. That's probably not right, but let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So from here, can we change, can we get it back out? So if we unwind, right? So that just gets us back where we started though. But maybe, okay, but not that one. Maybe I do what I did the first time. I probably shouldn't have rewound all this way, but if I do what I did the first time and push it twice. Whoops. All right, so we do this. Push it twice. We could do that. Except we're on the wrong side of history here. But we could at least move it out, right? Yes, okay. And then, now we're home clear because we could do this, right? We can do that, do that. Well, maybe not, because we somehow need to kick it south here. Oops, and we just put it back where we didn't want it to be. Yeah, so I think we need both stones at the same time. Or no, wait, actually, no, we can push it. What am I talking about? We can go here, push it like that. Okay. Well, I've only got one move from here, that. Wait, it's a three mode. What? Oh, never mind. Okay, it's only two. My brain was confused. There. Okay. So, I can become little ninja dude for a second. Okay. So I feel like I have to become ninja dude and push a rock to the left and drop it on the thing. I don't see why. It's probably wrong. It's just what I feel like. Okay, what am I even trying to do? There's this thing. Okay, now I'm ninja dude, but I'm stuck. And then there's another. If I put rocks down here, then I could stand on them and get to that last button. So I need to be able to have rocks down here. Okay, so now if I kick one south, it'll be stuck in this corner and I can't kick it left. If I drop one, same thing. Like, see, in neither of these modes can I get a block around this corner, right? Because if it falls, then it's there. And I could walk around it as this guy, but I could only kick it back up. If I'm ninja dude, then, well, I mean, same. Okay. But, of course, we have this other mode here with this guy. What could he do? He could, if there was one of these rocks at the edge, he could walk around and like push it south 1. And I don't think it would skip, or would it? Let's, oh, whoops. Well, I could also do that. So we can get those stones back anytime. This is annoying. Okay, if I go into ninja mode from here, this will fall. But I could go back to this. This doesn't really... I mean, I don't really know what I'm trying to do. This is suspicious, though. Like, why is there a green block there? I don't see any advantage to getting rid of this green block, but I honestly don't see a different maneuver. Yeah, I kind of don't know why somebody would try to do this game in puzzle script. I feel like this would be better with regular programming, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe if you've built a couple years of puzzle script expertise, it's not that hard. Okay, so I could... I'm going to try getting rid of that green block. I don't know why. Okay, how would I do that? Mm-hmm. That's fun. If I was Ninja Guy with a block on my head, and I kicked something up here, I would turn into skipping. The block would go up, then it would fall and come back down. And maybe hit the switch again. So that doesn't get rid of those squares. I guess there isn't a way to do it. Now that's, I guess, back where it started. I think one of those blocks was there. Okay. I kind of feel like I need to make a hole in this to get south, or do something else. Now, one thing that is suspicious is how this area up here isn't its own area. It's connected to this tunnel. All right. What does that mean? I don't know. But we do, in fact, have a little tunnel. Maybe that's just an aesthetic thing to reduce the number of regions. Maybe it actually matters. Well, I honestly have no idea what to do here. Yes, this is the Enigma shell. This game. It is the Enigma shell. What am I trying to do, people? This whole thing is interesting. If I do this with both rocks, okay, well, let's just try getting something in that hallway, right? Which I can do like this. So now, as we've said, I don't freaking know what to do here. Right? Oh wait, I can be ninja guy for one square here. That's weird. I guess I only need one rock. There. Okay. So here's what I see that's suspicious. Okay. If I'm over here, imagine I'm standing here somehow and I'm ninja guy. I'll fall to here. And if I did that, and if a rock did that at the same time, the rock would hit that actually and turn me into ninja guy here. Okay, no. Okay, here's the thing. If I'm here, okay. If I have a rock here in this mode, right? This is, I'm not actually trying to think about, whoops. I'm not actually trying to think about what makes sense to do. I'm trying to think about what is a tricky thing that the game is like trying to make me do. Okay, if I have that, then when I turn into ninja guy here, it'll fall. How do I turn into ninja guy? I push a rock to the left from here. That lets me be ninja guy, but while I'm standing over here, which means when I hit the other switch, it'll toggle me to non-ninja guy. Because for a while I was thinking, oh, that switch puts me in ninja guy level, but it's probably actually at toggle. Both of these are probably toggles. Okay, so I just need to do the thing that I did a minute ago. Okay, so this one we actually don't want yet. So like, what do I do? That's ninja mode. I lift, 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 go here. That's now a setup for later. I go into non-ninja mode here. I go here and go there. Okay, so now I go there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now, the only reason I was able to solve that is because I'm a puzzle game designer and I said, what crazy crap is this level trying to get me to do? I don't know if regular human brains can do that. I mean, they certainly can. I don't know how likely they are to. Right. It was just like, what is this level trying to get me to do that's wacky, right? All right. That was fun though. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. All right. So now what? I guess I fall down. Help. How do I not die? I need more blocks or something. Oh, I still have these rocks over here. As long as I don't mess this up. I mean, I still can't get them there though. Right? I mean, how would I? The whole point is I can't get those blocks there. Is that how you do level design? What is this level trying to do this wacky? Well, you just recognize that as a designer, right? You see it. You see it. All right. Let's try to do something without the blocks. I don't know what, so I can't go left here. I can obviously do this, but I can't go that way. Like I don't see anything to do. Except, okay, so what? That seems bad. Because that just hoses me because it's a wall now. What is that zone? That's just its own zone. It's not hooked up to anything I have control over yet. Someone says try backtracking. It's true, I don't know what's to the left of there, but I don't think it's anything that I've gotten to. I mean, it does look like it might be kind of connected to places I've been. Wait, is that? No, that's not the same zone. Oops. Okay. So these are my islands, right? And then this, that zone, wait, what, where? What? Why is this a thing now? Oh, right, but I could toggle the zone now, right? So why couldn't I just do that before? I mean, I was going to try to fill in this hole, but I don't see why I should. I mean, we can get this block all the way out. I don't understand why that backtrack was meaningful. I seriously don't. I'm not sure what happened there. Like, wasn't that was like water and stuff? I don't know, dude. All right. Okay. So this looks familiar. Wait, we're back in the beginning, aren't we? Dude, how many times are you going to tell me this? Okay, I guess that was like one area that we have finished. All right, that was really weird. Was the whole point of that I can get one block in surplus out of that whole zone? That would seem very strange. Oh, no! No. Don't turn into a ninja. Okay, what's this out here, though? That's all like a place that I ain't gotten to yet. Or maybe it's the start. No, that's the start, right? Okay. Okay, so we did this, right? I believe we did. Maybe not. I still don't understand what it's trying to tell me about restarting the most recent checkpoint. So I might have hosed myself because I don't understand what it's trying to say. That's a very suspicious rock. Do I want to know what happened there? No, I just don't know what happened there. That's the deal. I just don't know. Oh, it's another. Oh, it's a long leg guy. Oh, God. And he's sideways. Maybe because that's the way that I went in? Is that how that works? Or is it just sideways? Just generally? No, it's the way I go in, right? Yep. Yep. Okay. That's cool. Honestly, my brain is tired right now. So I think we're going to take a gameplay and break here, and we'll pick it up later. And hope that the browser doesn't wipe out my puzzle script progress. This is a good game so far, though. Time for some really deep programming. Yeah, no, I mean, it's probably time. I probably do want to do some more programming tonight, but when I get kind of tired, I'm just like, I don't want to do it on stream because streams are taxing. Streams are Elizabeth Warren's 13% wealth tax or whatever. It's lit. This isn't Half-Life 3. Well, who knows? I mean, because if Valve isn't the Valve of old, maybe Half-Life 3's graphics will look like this. I mean, okay, to be honest, if you were to ask me which game is going to have better gameplay, this or whatever Valve announces on Thursday, I'm thinking this. I'm not sure, but it's at least even money that this is better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in terms of the basic ideas and execution, like, this is the kind of game where more polish would make it better gameplay. because your brain would click with it better. But this is really good. So, what was the last good Valve game? Like good. Like I think Left 4 Dead 2 was pretty good. I mean, the thing is they never took Left 4 Dead all the way to where it can go, which is a bummer. But Portal was good. Portal 1 was good. Left 4 Dead 2 was good. Artifact, yeah. I never even played Artifact because it just looks so boring. Portal 2, some people like, but like it's not that good as a puzzle game, I don't think. And it does some unforgivable things. Vanilla TF2 was amazing. I don't know. TF2 is pretty spammy. Yeah, the Portal 2 co-op puzzles, I think, were better than the main Portal 2 game in terms of gameplay. Some of the co-op puzzles were pretty interesting. How hard is creating light and optics? I mean, what do you mean by that, right? Like, the way that games render graphics, they do it in a lot of different ways. Some ways are simplistic. Some ways are a lot more complicated, but yield more interesting results. It depends on what you're trying to do. What kind of unforgivable things did Portal 2 do? There are certain levels where if you push the button to fire the wrong portal, because you know there's one portal on left button and one on right button. If you push the wrong button, they change the button and make you automatically fire the right portal. It's horse shit, dude. I would fire people who did that. You think Portal 2 is pretty good for casuals as a gateway to actual good puzzle games? That could be possible. I haven't evaluated it that way. And it's been a long time since I played it, so I don't remember that well. The thing about Portal 2 is, though, in the middle of the game, there's just long sections of large maps full of just non-portable walls everywhere with like small amounts of portable space. And those levels just aren't that good. And they're just kind of tedious. And so I think maybe if you edited the game down, it might be better for that purpose. Have I fixed the rotation problem? What rotation? Remind me what rotation problem we're talking about. What happened with Valve? They made too much money with Steam. I think so. Also, the thing is, this whole flat company thing that they claim that they do just leads to infinite corporate politics, even though you would think that it wouldn't. You would think like, oh, there's no hierarchy, so there's no politics. But in reality, you have to politic with every single other person in the company all the time, which is crazy. In a regular company, you just have to politic with like the managers. And from what I've heard at Valve, like good people don't want to head projects there because you don't have control over a project. Like what happened with VR, at least early on, was a small number of people believed in this VR thing. They were really smart. They built it into the world's best VR system at the time. And then the company realized, oh, this is a thing. And then, every jerk who wants a higher bonus or wants to be on the high prestige project just jumps on the VR project and starts deciding what to do. And because you don't have command over anything at the company, you can't say, no, we're not going to do that with the VR. We're going to do this because you don't have authority, right? And so I think that's one of the reasons that. So there was a thing where a bunch of people split and went to Oculus, and there were some things about that were kind of dirty, maybe, but I also kind of understand why that was done, because you do all this work to start this amazing project and then it gets robbed from you, right? So I don't know. All that said, I have never worked at Valve personally. I don't know anything firsthand about it. I just know what I've heard from people who work there. Was it a mathematically sophisticated problem to solve for Witness and Sokoban? You mean lighting, right? I mean, there is some math to it. There's not that much more math than there is to some other stuff in 3D games. The thing that's complicated is just dealing with all the garbage you have to do for GPUs. Just to talk to a GPU is a heinous, complicated situation. Oh, the rotation problem we had after the new movement system's in place. Yeah. So that is mostly solved. Like, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with it because it depends on the timing of the animations, but when timing is set correctly, it doesn't happen. So that's fine. The next step to do in that animation system is just to put acceleration back on the player, which doesn't seem too hard, and then make undo work with that stuff, which is probably a little harder, but not that hard. I might stream these tomorrow morning, or some of it, before going into work. And then I don't know. Then it might be time to check it in, which will be great. HLVR is 100% going to be in Unity. Oh, that would be so sad. It might be true. You worked at two companies where you have tons of responsibility and no authority. That's too bad. When do I expect the new movement system to be done? Calendar-wise, it depends on how much work I put in, but I would say it's definitely less than a day of work to do those two things that I just said. But then the question is, what other problems are there, right? So like, we still have 140 level fails, right? So then I would start going through all those levels and re-recording tests, and we would look for, is there some other fatal problem or not? Not fatal, but is there some basic interaction problem that just has to get fixed? Probably there are, but hopefully they're not that hard to fix. So I might check it in after doing a little bit of that sweep, but before not doing the whole thing. So I would say, I would hope that within one more day of work, it could be checked in and the number of fails could be reduced significantly. The articles you've read say they're using Source 2 and Unity. What are my thoughts on Google Stadia? I don't have any, except that I wasn't ever sure how this was made sense, which is one reason why, like, we were definitely talking to them way back about should we announce a game on there and stuff, and we just decided no for various reasons. But part of it was, like, it didn't ever totally make sense to me, and nobody at Google was ever really able to explain why it made sense. And when I brought up things I wasn't sure about, nobody there really had good answers to those. They just said, like, oh, it's fine, it'll work out. And I'm like, So we'll see. Maybe they can make it good. Why did I redo the movement system? Because, so, in a turn-based puzzle game like this, for the puzzles to make sense, the rules have to live in some kind of idealistic space, right? Where, one thing occupies one square, and if things are a certain shape, you can't, like, squeeze them around a corner that they shouldn't be able to go around, all sorts of stuff. Now, the game that I'm working on, has many rules to it. And some of them are turn-based, and some of them are not turn-based. And there's, like, carrying stuff and, being pushed by things and, teleporting based on beam effect. There's just, like, a lot of different rules. And here's the thing. And by the way, this isn't the first rewrite. This is going to be like rewrite number 5. The difference is I just think it's finally maybe the right thing. So, when I first made the game, I just did a very straightforward 2D, works just like Puzzle Script gameplay-wise, right? But then as soon as you start animating things, well, things take time when they're animated, right? Even if it was just 2D sprites moving around, it would take time to move from square to square. And that's actually radically different from this popping thing like you get in Puzzle Script, right? Difference, for example, say there's a dragon that's going to breathe fire on you when, say it's like a Heroes of Sokoban dragon that breathes fire horizontally as soon as I step into this line where I'm going back and forth, right? And I'm down here. If it's just like this game where you teleport square to square and I move north, I die, it all makes sense, whatever, right? If it's animated, you don't want to die until you cross into that square, right? And so, like, the time that you logically move for gameplay shouldn't be right when you tap the key. It should happen later. Because otherwise, first of all, things look bad and it's stupid. Like, as soon as you tap a key but you're a square away, you, like, die and the dragon breathes. But worse than that, say there's timed levels. Say the dragon is riding on a lily pad. Say there's 2 dragons riding on a lily pad with beams, and the beams are sweeping top to bottom of the screen, and you have to stay between the beams. That level is playable. It's much more playable if you cross from one square to another at about the time that you visually cross from one square to another, right? Whereas if you cross from one square to another as soon as the move starts, and also the beams cross from one square to another as soon as the move starts, then it's really kind of unplayable because you're never sure about where anything is, and it's a disaster. That doesn't sound too bad. Why do you just not cross the square in the middle? Well, there's all sorts of weird things that start happening. So, like, what if I start going and then I get pushed to the side by a rover before I enter that square, right? what happens? Well, I don't move. But what if I was pushing something, right? Does it keep going? Does it not keep going? Well, probably it should not keep going. But then like it starts getting arbitrarily complicated, right? Like what if I was pushing a row of three things, and a rover like pushed out the middle thing? Like what happens? And because the rover goes fast, I could have started my push before it, then it goes. Like it just starts getting very complicated. In order to be fully robust, stuff needs to be handled really well. Is the game I'm working on game 3 only indirectly? The engine that I'm working on is going to be the game 3 engine. Does this rewrite then make decisions about all the things that weren't working right yet, like rover movement? Sometimes they go through each other, etc., or is that a separate thing? Okay, so what it is it's to provide the foundation so that all those things can work correctly. The worst part about rovers wasn't necessarily that they go through each other. That does happen, but that's probably pretty easy to fix. Because rover decision-making all happens at the same time. So there's probably just a simple bug where they don't totally notice, right? The more annoying thing is like trying to be consistent about whether a rover could push you or you could push a rover based on what the various mitigating factors are. If one of these things happens when you're like halfway, delayed from, you know what I'm saying, right? Like that right now, if you get, there aren't that many rover levels because they're just so messy. Like they're not very consistent in the way that they behave. And so then what would happen? So let's go back to that example I was saying a minute ago about what if you push 3 things and like the rover knocks out the middle one while you're pushing them. Well, what would happen by default is probably we would implement a rule that says, look, if a rover pushes anything in a transaction, the whole transaction is canceled, right? So the way it works right now, to preserve the puzzle semantics, everything in one transaction moves squares at the same time because that's necessary to keep things clean. So a rover would by default cancel that whole transaction. In a lot of cases, that may not be good, but then at least we have a strong enough foundation to then go into sophisticated cases like that and say, okay, let's do the programming that lets the rover knock out the middle one and just be very specific about that case, right? Whereas in the system that is currently checked in, because every entity is kind of moves itself, we don't really have the ability to globally detect that kind of situation and handle it robustly. So that's the difference. Well, there's a number of differences, but that's one of them. Are we working in C++ for game 2 or doing game design and avoid using C++? There is almost no C++ involved for the current game. Sounds very similar to your rewrites for the Prismata engine. It was 3 or 4 major rewrites to make all the animations and undos reverts work. Yeah, I mean, undo hasn't been that much of a problem for us, but that said, we haven't like made it look cool yet. And I want to have better, like a puzzle script game like this has like just hit Z a lot, which gets annoying. I want to have like a really good undo interface that has like major milestones in it and like you could scrub really far, but that probably comes later. But I don't think that'll involve any necessary changes to the core system. But we'll see. Sometimes you just don't think about something and then you hit that and you're like, oh, this is actually a problem. Yeah, for us, it's just that It's just that the rules are a little crazy. And okay, so there's other stuff too, like there's simpler cases than the ones I talked about that are still a problem. Like, look, say you're at a coastline and a lily pad is moving by and you want to walk onto the lily pad, right? Again, if movement is instant, that's easy. If your move takes time, and as we said for the dragon breath thing, you don't actually go into that square until some amount of time has passed, it just becomes harder to step on the lily pad, right? It's like easier to miss it because like by the time you step there, it might have left the square, right? So you kind of might be in the habit of trying to go early, right? But if you go too early, even though the lily pad will be in the right square by the time you get there, it won't be there yet. And if your player motion code doesn't understand that it will definitely be there by the time you go, then it'll just say there's just ocean there, you can't go, right? And so then timing to get on a lily pad becomes really hard, or harder than it should be, you know? And then similarly, like we have levels where you do weird timed stuff with skipping stones and whatever, and all those get really hard if you don't fix this. There's just lots of stuff like that. Even like, just imagine you've got like a raft made out of lily pads, which is one of the levels that we have, and they're moving in sync. And then you want to push a stone around on top of those and have it work consistently. Very easy if it's puzzle script like teleport motion. Really annoying with continuous motion. Like a lot of these things got a lot harder. Can you do everything in the new language that you can with C++? You can do more in the new language than with C++, so it's not a problem. It's just we take a little bit of a penalty from the compiler not being as mature, the debugger not being as well integrated with and stuff. But I think we more than make up with that with just how nice the language is. What do you have to do in the form of sand? I hate sand. It's rough and it gets everywhere. You have undo over a networked game, and you can scrub super fast, and some moves have multiple moves or triggers. It gets fun pretty fast. I think you mean fun in the air quote fun way, yeah. Yep. I mean, so with the current game, we don't ever try to, like, our gameplay logic is not reversible. Like moves do whatever they need to do and don't care. So that part is very easy. It's just that the undo system just notices any state changes and saves them all bidirectionally, right? So that's where the muscle of the undo ability goes, right? And so it allows, it makes it very easy to write gameplay code, which I think is important. We spend a little bit more CPU probably than we would if all the gameplay code had to know how to be reversible, but it's a much easier engineering problem. Am I looking forward to episode 9? I don't know if I will watch any Star Wars things. I kind of want to watch the Disney Plus thing because Werner Herzog is in it. That's the only reason, but I don't want to pay for Disney Plus to do that, so probably not going to watch it. For any programming language, can you come up with a strictly more powerful programming language for at least one program has a smaller Kolmogorov complexity and no program has a greater one? No. The answer is yes for almost any programming language, but you're just talking about compression, right? You're talking about data compression. And at some point you reach maximum compression, right? It's the same thing as asking, can you always make a better compression algorithm than the one that you have that works better for all inputs? And the answer is no. Eventually there's a minimum. Because you can't beat the pigeonhole principle, right? That's the whole point of that. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, yeah. Do I find non-video games as interesting as video games? Not really. I'm not a big board game guy. You have 100% reversible gameplay code because a lot of the undos have custom animations. Yeah. I could see that being a factor. I would still try to not do it that way, but again, different games have different requirements, and if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You think the answer is always yes? No. You can't. I mean, again, you can't beat the pigeonhole principle. That's not a thing. Did I see the Joker movie? No. I probably will see it eventually, but I just haven't. Will I eventually rewrite the compiler? Yes. It's just not worth doing yet. Oh no, a snake! Dude, how many games are in this game? You don't want to do that. Okay. I've locked myself out of snake line. Whoa, I ate the snake tail. Whoa, what? Why do I have infinite snake? Snake? Snake. The compiler gets bigger. The complexity of each program either stays the same or decreases. No, because look, the size, you can map programs one-to-one to the integers, all right? Assuming you have countably infinite many programs, right? So you can't do better than you could to compress all the integers. How much information does it take? To to discriminate between all the integers, it takes as many as it does for all the integers. That's just, you can't beat that. There's no, compression isn't magic, right? Like what data compression is in the real world is just that we care a lot more about some kinds of information than other information that looks random to us. And so we make it smaller to store the information we care about. But that's not magic. There's a trade-off. The trade-off is that it makes other things longer, right? So compressors are efficient on some things, but inefficient on other things, right? And it's just the things that they're inefficient on are the space that we don't care about. That's why compression is effective. There's no free lunch though, right? And so if you're saying that you actually care about the entire input space, which is how I interpreted that question, then you can't actually compress. Because making some things shorter makes other things longer. You can't win. This is, a lot of computer science school was a waste of time, but this was one thing that I learned in computer science school that was good. Ah, I'm stuck. Maybe I don't want to push that. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's push it. Snake! Oh no, it's infinite snake, bro. Dude, this game is bananas. Okay, so I could get out. What does that do from... Oh, wait, there's a block in there. Obviously, I'm supposed to snake the block, because that's what the level design says. The level design says I have to do this. Wait, what? Why is that another snake head? What even am I looking at? This is where also where some graphics would help. Okay, I don't see any choice up to about here. Starting here, I could do... Okay, yeah, this is what I have to do. Oh. That's cute. That's cute. It's a good game, dude. That was pretty sick. That sounded like the right solution to me too, or felt like it. Okay, this is suspiciously large. Okay, this zone is going to turn into something else. I suspect that my snake trail is going to be walkable. Okay? That is my theory about the brontosaurus, which is mine and belongs to me. What did I tell you? Oh, wait, no, it's rocks. No, it's rocks. It's the opposite of walkable. So wait, what happened there? Like, again, I can't With these graphics, I have no idea. So this thing skipped across, but why did it change the zone? There's not a button there. So what the hell am I even looking at? The red tile is a switch? Why is that? Why is the red tile a switch? I don't want a Nintendo Switch. Alright. Okay, I don't seem to be able to do anything else. Okay. So I have space here. So I think I need to make a hook so I could push this to the right. I need something like this. No. See, I pushed it up too far. If I push it to here, I can't get it south without running into that wall, and that's no good, right? Because now I can't push it up. If I could push it up, one, I could go left and get under my hook and push it right, but I can't do that. So, what do I do? See, as soon as I've pushed it there, I've lost. I can't push it past the middle. See, I just need to get around my little snake. Like, why is that a switch down there, dude? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, what else though? Because this whole thing is connected. So I actually can go back. Let's just see if this sheds any light on anything. Like, I could go all the way back. I could go to Ninja Land, dude. I could like do some snaking up here if I wanted to. I could do like some daddy long legs. It's crazy. Oh wait, if I just hooked, wait, what? Oh no, reset took me too far, bro. No, oh wait, you can undo resets, right? Yeah. Now this is the crappy part about puzzle script games. I have to sit here with my hand on Z for like 5 minutes. Okay. Wait, what happened there? So I went in without the little dude. He turned into a block. So that's an option that I have. Okay, this is very strange. Okay, so that's Ninja World gravity dropping me down. So once I'm here, I cannot get out. just need to push my rocks right, dude. That's all I need. See, it's got to be wrong that I can't push him up this far. Oh. No. See, there's a nice little hole, but I can't get up there now. I'm stuck. It looks worse than Ultimate 1. It's true. Ultimate 1 was some high-tech stuff. Like, what do I do? I just want to push the dude. Whatever this thing is. Gopher radish wearing antennas. Okay, if I can indeed not... Okay, hold on. So what is this thing over here to my right? That's very suspicious. Because if I was just going to make a blob of rocks and push it to the right, we wouldn't need this little 2x2 down here. What is that? It's two different zones. It's a grass zone with a ninja gravity zone under it. I don't know what to do about that. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait, I could do this. Why? I'm dumb. Still doesn't quite do it for me, but there we go. So if I just could push that down again. Okay, wait. So here, up. Okay. See, now I'm like one square off. Wait, what? Oh. Ninja. Ninja, please. That's pretty cute. That's the kind of puzzle where when you design that, you're like, okay, that's kind of magical, because those things are not easy to design, because that had to meet the constraints of being pushable in 3 directions and being a lattice that you could push the rock over. That's good. That's that's puzzle of the year 2019. Sort of. I mean, it's not that hard, but like when someone does that, you know they're a real puzzle designer. You know what I'm saying? That's like better than anything in Portal 2. Like from the discussion we were just having, right? What was puzzle of the year 2018? But like, so sometimes you just start, like, I don't know what the experience of designing this puzzle was like, but sometimes you get a crazy idea for something to do and then it just works out and you can't believe what you managed to do. So like for me in The Witness, where there's the light bridge puzzles, like the dueling light bridge, I just felt very fortunate that I managed to figure out this thing that seems to perfectly work, you know. Like I had the idea, but there was no reason to believe that the idea would execute all the way to something interesting, and then it did. And this feels to me like that. Like I see how you would have the idea to do this. I mean, the idea could have come one piece at a time. It could have been the pushing part, and then like, well, how do we make it more juicy? Or maybe the idea came both at once, and like, how do you do this? I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah, I don't know if I want to keep playing because, like I said, I'm kind of tired right now, and so I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm going to do. I'm glad I was not totally like I had a second wind from the little break for that one, but again, when you play really good puzzles, you don't want to be super tired and like slamming your head against them. So I think that's going to be my break for now. But yeah. Good puzzle, man. Worst puzzle in Portal 2 is the co-op one where you had to smash into each other in the air. I disagree. I think that was a good puzzle. That's a good puzzle. It's one of the few good puzzles in Portal 2. What would you say that the most important thing to fix about web is? Reliability. The most important thing to change is to stop trying to build all this, quote, software, unquote, on top of ill-defined browsers that you don't know how they behave. You need to make it possible to know what's going to happen when code runs. A, right? And then B, you have to get rid of all the insane complexity that it takes just to build a web service. Like people make these things in 3 or 4 different programming languages at the same time because they think they have to, which is absurd. Yeah, if he's 22, he's got a really good career ahead of him. I should hire this dude, man. I don't know if he wants a job, but he could have one. That's all I could say. Everyone's hired. No, not everyone is hired. See, when you say everyone's fired, at least you save money because you're not spending money paying anyone anymore because everyone's fired. If you say everyone's hired, you go broke immediately. So you got to be careful with that. I should actually email this dude and ask him if he has any interest just making some puzzles for the Sokoban game, because like we have like 450 puzzles right now and it's like not enough. We need more puzzles, which is crazy, but just that's how big the possibility space is. So that could be entertaining. 23-year-old with very little experience, but a lot of cool ideas. Well, the thing that you learn when you start getting experience is that your cool ideas weren't that cool. That's how it goes, man. We need to match the witnesses at least. No, it's not really about that. Like, I think we actually have more actual gameplay than the witness already, because like one level in the Sokoban game never gets too simple, whereas in the witness there were some puzzles where you do them in like 5 seconds. You see it and you're like, oh, I get it, because it was an introduction to some new ramp, right? Sokoban isn't quite like that. So yeah. So we probably have more playtime than the witness already. The thing is just there's certain things that we don't explore yet and we need to do. How do you test someone's puzzle design capabilities without playing a game they made, like this case here? Well, you just have them build some puzzles and see how they do. You know? How do you hire programmers? How do you know they're good? Hard to say. I mean, if they've done significant projects before, you have more reason to believe they might be good, but you don't really know. What's this going to turn into? Oh, it's Snake. Yeah, we're not going to do that right now. We're not going to do that right now. So that looks like you have to turn into a snake up north of me, and you have to pull all the blocks out of the tunnel by snaking them out, and then hit the button again. And you have to hit the button in such a way that you can push some of the blocks out of the way so you can go down the tunnel. That looks like a good puzzle. Like, see, this is just a good game, dude. I can't wait to get up there and do that puzzle. Maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know if you get there from the right or from north, but it actually looks a little too easy, because here's the thing. The blocks all connect to the snake head thing up there. I wonder why it's not all the blocks -1 and then you have to push one into the right place. You know what I mean? Maybe it wouldn't matter. I think it would matter though. Like, I kind of want to have to push that last block into this one right here. I kind of want to have to put that there. Maybe even 2. Just don't clear your cookies or play incognito. Yeah. I'll probably leave the tab open, but dude, Windows wants to reboot again. It says down here. Guess what? It just rebooted like yesterday. It already wants to do it again. It's like non-stop reboot festival. Are you expected to play games, campaigns in some order to build your knowledge? We try to be nonlinear about it. But this is to be determined how nonlinear we can be without the game being unplayable. That's sort of the phase of design that we have started doing, is looking at how to do that better. Yeah, most puzzle script games will save your progress in cookies. I definitely have had cases of the progress going away, but not that often, and I'm not sure what causes it. Do I use Windows strictly because I do game development, or there is reasons for not using macOS Linux? I just can't stand macOS. I just don't like it. It's not... macOS doesn't feel like it's made for people who know how to use computers. And Linux just doesn't really work very well. So I have to use Windows, unfortunately. And also, you know, you want to, for game development, it really helps to use the operating system that you're going to ship on to the people who will play the game. But if Linux worked well, if I could switch to Linux without taking a big hit in development productivity, I probably would, because Windows is so offensive at this point. Now, the biggest hit to productivity on Linux is that the debuggers are freaking terrible, and that never gets fixed because nobody there understands what good debugging is like for some reason, because they've never used good debuggers. But Remedy is getting pretty good, and I assume that'll run on Linux if it doesn't already. And then the RAD debugger, when that's done, probably will run on Linux. And so there will be multiple good debuggers at some point. Who knows how much in the future, but at some point. And that would be enough for me to consider trying to switch. It's just, I know I'm going to have problems with like graphics drivers and like, you know, audio frickin' not working and whatever else. But so the other thing is, now that there's Vulkan, maybe buggy GL drivers is not that much of an issue because Vulkan is supposedly lower level. Maybe that's more robust. I don't know. So at some point, I will do another attempt to switch to Linux, and I'll probably hate it and not do it, but I will try at some point. Because Windows is just getting so bad that, like, honestly, if you don't decide to stop putting up with Microsoft's shit, they're just going to keep pushing further, right? They're like that annoying person that just keeps taking advantage of you more and more to see how much you'll put up with, right? That's exactly what they're doing. And it's like, look, you have to be willing to abandon Windows eventually, or they will never stop making it worse. I was using Mint. I used Mint like some years ago, and it was terrible. Like when I demoed in 2014, when I demoed the first demo of the working programming language, I showed it running on Linux. That was a Mint Cinnamon machine, and I felt lucky that it didn't lock up during the demo because that UI was frickin' terrible. I can't believe they shipped it to people. You find that Sea Lion has a great debugger on Linux. I disagree strongly. Like, all the debuggers are just front ends to GDB, which makes them bad immediately. You still think Windows is much less garbage to work with. It is. It's just, the problem is Windows does not respect me at all. Linux doesn't respect me either, okay? But Linux disrespects me just out of ignorance, like they don't know how software should be, right? Windows disrespects me intentionally, which is less forgivable, okay? That's the difference. Try KDE Neon User Edition. It's based on Ubuntu. Well, so's Mint, isn't it? Everybody's based on Ubuntu now, practically. You're still using Windows 7 because you've concluded it's the least garbage version of Windows. I agree with that. Windows 7 is probably peak Windows. The problem is just it's really old, and like even a lot of hardware already won't work with it. A lot of games won't work with it. So you're basically on borrowed time. Tiling window manager is so good. I don't know. I mean, dude, even on Windows, when I'm multi-monitor, I don't even use the second monitor hardly. You know, my style is just whatever I'm running, I just have. Like if you're doing a lot of system administration stuff, then a tiling window manager is probably better because like, you know, you've got one tile over there with some shells open to other machines, and then the other one where you're programming locally or something. Like I see that, but I don't know. For the most part, I feel like tiling window managers are kind of gimmicky. Like I always set them up and then don't really use them that much. Are Linux developers not capable of developing a decent debugger? So the thing about Linux programmers, open source programmers generally, do not seem to value user experience and do not seem to understand how important it is, and don't seem to understand how important it is to make things work robustly and to not waste end users' time. And it just makes a large percentage of what they make unusable. And okay, here's the thing. It's hard to picture this now, but back in the early 90s when Linux started, like free software had a lot of momentum to it. Like things were getting better every day. You were seeing newer, cooler stuff all the time. Now you don't. It's just like the same, like, you know, I was saying this the other day, like Linux hasn't really been getting better in how long? Like, did Linux peak like 7 or 8 years ago? Like, I don't know exactly. Like around the time everyone was doing compositing window managers that were all gimmicky was the last time I felt excitement in the Linux space. And it's because there's just too much friction now. You can't, so all these programmers are so weighed down by how much BS they have to do to make anything that it takes all their time and they're unable to make forward progress. That's my opinion anyway. So people have a limited amount of time and a lot of open source development is done in spare time. Oh, that's true. I understand that. But I am saying people used to do new stuff in open source and they don't anymore. What happened? That's something changed. Okay. There is no more excitement and there used to be excitement. So something actually changed. The way things are today is not the way that they always were. So right, so you're saying arguably the reason there isn't a good debugger is everyone's fine with GDB. I think that's part of it. I think that's because most of those programmers have not used things better than GDB, so they don't, like, you don't necessarily miss what you don't know. But also just people are scared to do big things because they feel like it's not possible. Like most programmers would say you're crazy if you want to make a new debugger. It's not possible. What changed is that a few big projects emerged. Things like Blender and KiCad are pretty competitive for being free. That is true. That is true. Like I've been hearing good things about Blender lately, so that's good. It's good to see some projects succeeding. From your POV, few games are successful at threading to utilize a significant portion of CPU cores. What do you mean from your POV? Have you seen the internals of any game engines? Like, how do you know this? Do I think increasing core counts in CPU is feasible long term? It is feasible because it's the only possible thing left. The only way that we know to try to make more compute power is to have more cores. We're out of ideas in hardware besides that. So that is simply what is happening. You know, AMD's releasing new chips with 32 cores. Why? Because it's a lot easier than releasing one chip with one core that's 32 times as fast. We're out of ideas. We have to make it work. But no, a lot of games thread. I don't know why you're saying that games are not successful at that. I would say that the higher effort games, higher budget games, do a much better job of threading than like a random ass Unity game. Like that's for sure. But no, game programmers are some of the few people who actually thread for performance. Especially if they ship on consoles. Dude, system seller games on consoles thread very, very heavily. But 3D processors are totally going to happen. They might, but like you still, I mean, how 3D can you go before you just have to make it multiple cores anyway? I don't know. That's an open question, I guess. But like what, if we could make processors 3D, like there's a limit to how deep the pipeline can be anyway. So you could use the third dimension to put some stuff closer to each other. But like at some point you still can't make the pipeline deeper without it being, you know, diminishing returns. And so you just have to have more cores anyway, I think. Your CPU is often your limiting factor with sub 50% CPU utilization, but certain games manage to push it above and beyond. Do you mean like with multiple cores, you find it hard to use half the cores or whatever? So here's the thing. The thing about multi-threaded programming is the following. For complicated programs like a game, unless you're doing an embarrassingly parallel subset of work, which most games don't have that much of, it doesn't really work to scale to a number of cores where you don't know how many there were in the first place, right? If you're making a game and you're like, well, it's going to run on the PC and maybe they'll have 2 cores and maybe they'll have 32 cores, like you're probably not going to be using those 32 cores very well because you don't know what to do, right? If you're on a console and you know how fast each core is and you can plan out what your game is going to be doing during what parts of the frame, you can get pretty high utilization because you know how many cores there are and you're in charge of what they do and you can map them out. But on something like a PC where you have no idea, it's like, what are you going to do? You just try to use some cores and try to do a good job. But real efficiency requires you to know what computer you're going to run on, or it requires you to do some problem that is very embarrassingly parallel, like, data compression or something like that. Oh, that's what you're getting at. Yeah. Yeah. So on Windows, you do what you can do. Isn't that the dream of ECS architecture? Not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. All right, thanks everybody for coming by. We had some fun time playing this snake game here. Snakebird 2 is what we've been playing today. It's a good game so far. And we will see where it goes. Oh, I can't go south there. Wait, what's the... Oh, that's a changer. So if I go here, that's a changer? And then I'm dead. I don't understand even what that... It wouldn't bother me as much if I understood what object that is. It's a conundrum what to do. I feel like I have to be a shorter snake, right? Like, I need to like... I kind of want to leave my tail there. I want to leave my tail there. See, all these things are just not quite long enough. Ow! Oh, there we go. See? See, we broke off part of our tail. But now, what am I even trying to do? I'm trying to be a 5 snake in the end to get out. All right. Okay. So those things are separate. Whoa, what? It's a Pac-Man tunnel. Okay. My frickin' snake tail. See, I need to... Oh, that's... You go to the snake from the other end. See, I need to... I wish I could back into that. My tail's in the way. This is very suspicious. Look at this. Obviously, I've got to get all those other snakes. Okay? And the reason is because we have all these squares over here. Maybe not. I don't know, man. So if I push this south, then it's irreversible. That's really the only move there. And then there I can kind of push this around more, but I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so I get blocked. The snake head gets detached from the body, and then I'm blocked. All right. I want to back up. I want to back up. What happens if I push that rock? I mean, I'm going to be blocked because of the snake body, but like... We still haven't used this frickin' rock. Don't. Okay, thanks, game. Now we have to hold Z for a year. I kind of feel like I want some more snake pieces. Okay, okay, okay. If I go through the tunnel, I might be able to come back the way I came. Except the problem is I can't. But there's the whole other way that I didn't go. Like, that's the thing is, like, why is this tunnel here, really? I don't get why I'm just a snakehead, but... All right. So from here, I can, of course, go back through here. The thing is, I won't be able to go all the way, right? Let's see. I'm a snake again. Like, I couldn't get up there if I tried. I mean, maybe though, like I could see that this is what I have to do somehow, right? Like if I could, no, I don't know. It doesn't seem that doable. But there's this whole other direction that I didn't even go. And maybe that's just a whole other universe. I don't know. Wait, I've got another stone here, sort of. I think I understand what he's saying. Dude, program your game in a real programming language. All right. So this is the area we didn't do. So what am I trying to do? If I want to go here, that was a thing that happened. So I could do that, but that doesn't seem as good. Wait, what? Okay, that works. Oh, that works. I need a block. Like I was saying, I need a block there to be a snake. Or, wait, no, there's no snake. What am I saying? It is kind of V, 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 V. It's true. Okay. Anyway, we're too tired for this. We're really going to end the stream like we said we were going to do 15 minutes ago. Very interesting game. Good stuff. Etc. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Maybe we'll stream in the morning and do some more programming. Good night, everybody.